counterattack playthrough series. We're continuing with Waterloo, Napoleon's last battle. It's 1400 hours, turn 4, and we're going to start with the commander phase, where we see if Napoleon will wake up or get motivated. We have to roll 8 or more. Rolled a 6, so he remains sleepy. Next is the rally phase, and we start off by recovering commanders. The only spent commander, other than Napoleon, is Ney. And then we recover leaders. We got 2 French and 2 British leaders, so they recover. And then we recover artillery. I'm going to magically do that. And then next is rally units, starting with the French. Now my first issue is I have this nice stack of strong cavalry from Ney's corps, and if I want to unspend them, I can unspend the whole mess because I'm using the optional cavalry rules, but if I unspend them, Ney will become spent, and then I will lose my ability to do like a double move or re-roll the sunset die roll, or cancel the sunset die roll, I should say. So unfortunately, that powerful formation seems like powerful to me. I think I'm going to leave spent, and we'll try to get him out of harm's way, so I can keep Ney around. Now, D'Erlon's corps, I've put into a bit of a mess. I got his cavalry over here, I got some infantry over here, I got the artillery here, and then more infantry all spent in this village here. That's not good. I might want to try to consolidate them, but I think it's worth spending D'Erlon to rally 2 units. What do we have here? Only 1 spent there. I think we're going to rally 2 of the infantry here, ideally the best ones. They're all identical, so we'll just flip 2 of them and keep the spent ones on top, I guess. Yeah, so D'Erlon is spent. For the British, it appears the only spent units are Picton's corps, so we're going to flip Picton over to the spent side to flip 2 of these guys back. That's a 4-4, 3-4, 3-4. Okay, so we'll do the 4-4 and a 3-4. Okay, now this position's much stronger. And yeah, I believe that's the only British units that are spent. Now for the Grand Battery phase. Here's the Grand Battery. They're going to target Area 46. Let's spread everybody out. I'll pick the top unit as the point unit, so that's 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 for the supporting units against double the terrain, which is 2, so that's a 4. And then it's long range. It's hard to see with all these units here, but it is long range. It's going over a flat field, so that's a total of 5, so 7 to 5. See what we have here. So looks like 17 to 14. The Grand Battery finally did something. So that's a +3 for the French. 3 casualties against the British. I neglected to designate the target unit. It would have been Picton's strongest infantry here. So that has to take the first casualty, so it'll become spent. And then the British have to take 2 more casualties. And I think they'll just retreat these 2 spent units. That'll absorb the final 2, because we still have a decent amount of troops here. Yeah, so all the Grand Battery units are going to flip to their spent side. Clean this up. Okay, it's sort of tidy. Now we are entering the impulse phase, which I think I called the action phase in my last video, but it's the impulse phase, and it's impulse 0. French go first, and they're kind of getting strung out, especially over to the right. Yeah, let's go check this out. So I'm mostly concerned with D'Erlon's corps, which not only has spec units here that haven't moved, has his cavalry here, has these guys here in this village, and they're tenuous, these cannons and these guys here. We also have some cavalry out here, but these green areas that you can see off the edge of the camera here, the Prussians are going to be coming in on turn 2 from there. So I need to start thinking about getting flanked. So I think what I'm going to try to do is maybe do a general advance of Derlon's corps. So let's go see if we can activate Derlon. His activation number is 8. We rolled a 5, unfortunately. Now for the British, all these cavalry are spent, and I could attack them with infantry, but the cavalry can just retreat. So I'm thinking, even though it's kind of a weak attack, I'm inclined to attack with Heiss's 3 strength artillery, because a bombardment will be 3 for their strength, plus 1 if the primary target's cavalry, so we'll have a 4. And then the defense, I think this is flat terrain here. Let's see. Yeah, 1, so it's flat. So the defense is 2 times the TEM. So we're looking at a 4 to 2. Yeah, I like those odds. I could even, I was going to say I can throw Picton into that attack, but that's not true. He's spent. So I'm going to try to activate Picton. I need to roll 8 or more, but Wellington's passive ability is still available, that +1, so I get to add 1. Right on target, 7 + 1 for Wellington's 8, so activated. So we're going to do that. We'll go ahead and pick the, let's see, I think I want to I'll pick this guy as the primary target. What did I say? It's 4 to 2. Oh no, no. I guess these French cavalry were caught with their pants down. So we're looking at 9 + 4 is 13. 2 + 2 is 4. 13 - 4 is 9. 9 casualty points. This guy has to take the first casualty, and we don't have enough guys here to retreat to accommodate all the casualty points. Actually, looking at the casualty point chart, as you can see, a spent unit that is eliminated counts as 2 casualty points. I was thinking it only counts as 1, so I think we can do something here. So like, for example, if I destroyed those 2 guys, we'd only have 5 casualty points left. There's 4 guys here, so it doesn't quite make it enough for retreat purposes, but yeah, I think I can retreat 3 of these guys. Well, yeah, we'll kill these guys. That's 4 points. I'm going to pick one of these guys to die. Yeah, we'll pick Vino, who on the strong side is a 1/1. Okay, so that's a total of 6 casualty points. 7, 8, 9 retreating. Oh man, that was devastating. And this cannon or artillery unit flips. 3 French units were just destroyed. 1, 2, 3. So the Allies have +2. Sunset die roll, well, the impulse is 0, so it doesn't matter. I rolled a 3, doesn't matter. We're now on impulse 1. I'm going to activate Derlon if I can. I need an 8 or more. Got a 7, pass. Okay, the British are going to keep on attacking. This is the village of Papelotte. I think they're going to try to activate these green units, which confusingly are called the Orange Corps. So yeah, I need to roll a 6 or more and a +1 for Wellington. So really I have to roll a 5. That's a good unit, in fact. I rolled an 8, by the way. Yeah, maybe I don't want to spend that leader. That's actually seems like a very good unit. Okay, so yeah, let's spread these units out. So we'll pick the point unit of this guy. He's 3. You get 1 more for each supporting infantry. That's 4. 1 more for each supporting skirmisher. That's 5. 1 more for each supporting artillery. That's 6. 6 against 2 times the terrain, which is 6 total. So 6 to 6. There's no skirmishers here to support the defense. I guess the primary target we'll pick as this 3 here. Okay, so this is an even attack, which the British seem to be doing well at. Now I could try to, I could flip the Orange Corps leader to get +2 on this attack. That doesn't seem worth it to me, considering how easy it is to activate this guy. Well, the French won out on that one. So all British units flip. Actually, I forgot, the artillery doesn't flip. So what's nice, one nice thing about volley fire is only infantry flip. So if you have skirmishers and artillery, they stay fresh. And then there's no effect on the defender here. So, yep, Papelotte is held. And let's go ahead and do a sunset die roll. We're on impulse 1, so it doesn't really matter. Rolled a 6. Just going through the motions here. Impulse 2, and I know I'm really dumb, but I'm going to try to activate Darlan again. Come on, I got to be able to get an 8, right? Got an 11, thankfully. Okay, because I need to extricate Darlan's forces here. Here we see them all. I'd love to get these guys over with these guys, but they're currently protecting the Grand Battery, which is completely spent. I'm reluctant to leave it on its own. But what I do want to do is evacuate this town here. So exiting a contested area takes all your movement factors, but we're doing a general advance anyway, which is move 1 space, so it doesn't really matter. So all these guys, they're going to come over and join their artillery. Now, this is a VP location, yeah, so like, why am I doing that? Well, I just don't have the forces to attack into there, but maybe I will later. These guys over here, they're also going to advance over to here. So now I got like a nice stack of infantry, though some of them are spent. So I might be able to do something with them, maybe even go right back in. And yeah, I guess that's what I want to do. Looking around, yeah, I don't see any other Darlan Corps units. The British are going to try to activate Uxbridge. They activate on a 6, but Wellington drops it down to a 5. They got a 9. And the reason I want to activate these guys, I feel like I have a little breathing room here. I want to consolidate Uxbridge units here, and then the ones over here. So I'm trying to get a big stack of cavalry together. So got another big stack of units here. Oops, they're actually not adjacent, so they'll move into there. And then I suppose this artillery, maybe we'll come down here with them. Not that I think I'm going to be able to do anything with it. More Uxbridge over here. So this unit down here, this area that the French have, still has cavalry in it, but now it's weaker because there's no more infantry. Just trying to think what I want to do about that. Probably nothing. I'd like to consolidate all these guys to, you know, maybe I'm going to move the cavalry, the horsies, all into here, just to consolidate them. That might leave this area vulnerable, which is 2 artillery units to maybe a cavalry charge here across water. But, you know, the Prussians are coming soon, so even if they get back there, like, who cares? All right, I think I like that. Let's go ahead and do a sunset die roll. Still, it's impulse 2, so even if I roll snake eyes, it doesn't matter. So that's the end of impulse 2. Okay, it's impulse 3. And Lobau Corps. We're going to try to activate. Activates on a 6. Rolled 12. So yeah, Lobau. We got a nice stack of infantry here. There's a skirmisher and 4 infantry plus an artillery. I was meaning to do something with them last turn, but just couldn't pull it off. So I guess I have to decide where I want to go. I want to either go that way or that way. This way has, here, let's check out this a little better. This way has some strong infantry. They have 5 defense, man. It's the strongest one I've seen in the game so far. Yeah, so 3 infantry plus skirmishers plus artillery, spent artillery. This is strong artillery. Oh, another strong infantry. Ooh, 2 strong infantry. Huh. What do we got in here, Lobau? Not a lot. You know, that might not be worth doing. Shoot. Well, I've activated them, so we're gonna do something with these guys. Yeah, we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna assault. So I think I'm gonna go that way. Okay, so these guys are spending all their movement to enter here. We'll bring this cannon along with us so it can't participate. And yeah, let's go ahead and spread all these units out and see what's happening. First things first, I need to pick a point unit because the enemy has skirmishers. So the skirmishers are going to perform some defensive fire. We'll just pick Tromelin. Yeah, so skirmisher defensive fire. There's only one attacking skirmisher, the British. So that's 1 attack factor against the terrain, which is 2, plus 1 if there's a skirmisher in the assault. No, for each skirmisher in the assault, and I do have 1, so we're looking at 1 to 3. Another snake eyes for the French. So that becomes a 5, that becomes a 7. So 7 to 5, that's 2 casualty points. And the point unit has to take the first casualty point. The second casualty point can come from anyone. I don't want to retreat the point unit because that'll call off the assault, and I want to assault. I'll go ahead and flip another one of these guys. Okay, so for the assault proper, the point unit was this guy, so it's 2. And then we get 2 for each supporting fresh infantry, so that's 4, 6. Half for a skirmisher, so it doesn't matter. And then 1 for each spent infantry, so 7. The artillery doesn't help, so we got 7 for the attacker. The defender is the terrain, so that's 2. Their forward unit, they're going to pick this guy. He's strong, so we're at 7. 1 for each additional fresh unit, so 8, 9. And the skirmisher does not contribute, as far as I can tell. I mean, it's fresh, and it is a unit. So I guess, yeah, we're looking at 7, 8, 9, 10. So 7 attack, 10 defense. The French have had so many poor rolls. They're going to get a big one here. No, they're not. And they probably should have flipped their low bow corps commander to get a +4 in the roll, but it wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah, so 10, that's 19 for the British, 7 for the French, +4 is 11, so that's 8 casualty points. Oh man, some bloody fighting. I think we can get out of here mostly unscathed, so this guy can retreat for 7. This guy will retreat for 6, 5, 4. Flipping over. 3, 2, retreat. I think these guys have to be eliminated. This guy can't retreat. And these guys can't retreat to eliminate a casualty point until they flip. And they have skull and crossbones on the back. That means they're dead. Skirmishers don't count for victory points, but this artillery does. So the British are now up to 3 victory points. Yeah, why did I do that attack? I think when I attack like that, I need way larger formation. I can move up to 10 guys in, so I think I'm failing to push my units into large groups and then attack with them. Hold up. I got this rule wrong, and I think I got it wrong in 3 videos. Let's back up these casualty point to right before we started absorbing them. Okay, so it turns out in an assault, the casualty points do not go against a failed assault. They only go against the defender if the defender loses. So a failed assault just means, let's see, the point unit and all supporting units are flipped from their fresh side to their spent side. Okay, so, and if already spent, eliminated. So these guys were already spent, and that's the point unit there. So they're eliminated. Okay, and then these guys are flipped. And these guys were supporting, so they're flipped and they're eliminated. And then this was a non-participating unit. And so in a mandatory assault, a non-participating units retreat. Since this guy cannot retreat, he has a movement of 0, he's destroyed 2. So it's even worse. But at least I think I got the rule correct. So I guess in an assault, you just take a lot of casualties. You like everyone becomes spent, certain guys have to retreat, guys that are already spent are destroyed. If the defender loses in the assault, they take casualty points. So they have a little more flexibility in what they do. So even worse, but these guys I think stay here. It doesn't say they retreat. They're just contesting that zone. I'm going to clean this up. Okay, it's been cleaned up. The French lost 3 victory points for these guys, so the British are actually at 4 victory points right now, and then the French also lost a skirmisher. Actually, the British are at 5 victory points because there's 6 eliminated French units, not counting skirmishers, and there's 1 eliminated British unit. Man, British are destroying the French, mostly from French inept generalship. So we're going to try to activate Uxbridge. Needs to activate on a 6, +1, so really a 5. I rolled an 8. And we're going to activate this area. We're going to move all these guys. What I'm thinking is, things are starting to thin out. I think the British can start taking some more risks. I think we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're right behind Hougoumont and have 2 cavalry charge, 4 cavalry charge targets available. They can charge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 through that, and then over there. So putting them there to sort of threaten the French here. And then we'll go ahead and check for sunset. Rolled a 9. The current impulse is 3. 9 is not less than 3. Okay, impulse 4. Things might get a little crazy here depending on what I can pull off here. I think Ney is going to try to activate for 7. Got a 6. Pass. By the way, what I was thinking of doing with Ney is a double move. Got a nice fat stack of cavalry here. A couple more over here. There's some back here, but these are the Imperial Guard, and if they die, they give the British 3 points instead of 1. So, but I could do a double cavalry charge, like through this gap back to there. Sort of make this cavalry have to react, though it might be a death sentence doing that. But now the British, those cavalry, Uxbridge cavalry, are in position, and I think they want to do a cavalry charge. Uxbridge will activate on a 5 because Wellington's passive ability. Got a 10. They activate. They're going to come right in here. 1, 2 because it's adjacent to enemy units instead of just 1. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's where I want to go. So let's zone in on this. Wow, I didn't realize how strong these cavalry are. So the point unit will be 6. And then it's 2 for every supporting cavalry that's unspent. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And Uxbridge is participating in this charge. So we're going to flip them over and add +4. So we're at 20. The defenders, they'll pick this guy as the forward unit. So 4. The location, Tem is 1, so 5. And then 1 for each fresh unit supporting, 6, 7. So 20 to 7, clearly something really bad's going to happen. Yeah, does Ray want to participate? Can he participate defensively? It's not going to matter a whole lot, though. Maybe he might want to do a reroll of the battle die, depending on what happens. So I think that'd be better. Okay, so 20 to 7. Well, let's see if I can get these dice in this frame here. I think we're looking at 26 to 15, which is plus 11. And the defender will take casualty points, so 11 casualty points, probably going to wipe them out. So the question is, does Ray flip to force a reroll? Like, I could reroll a 12 for the French and a 2 for the British, and the British will still win. So I think it's better to keep Ray unspent and use him for the counterattack. So, what did I decide here? 26 to 15. It's 11 casualty points. Well, 3 for each of these is 6. 1 more is 7. Can't even absorb them all. That's 2 more points for the British. Now, since the defender couldn't absorb all casualty points, the cavalry can make an overrun. That's where they can move 1 more area and potentially do another charge. Now, I'm using the cavalry exhaustion rules, which modify almost all the cavalry charge rules, including this. So normally the lead unit would become spent, I think, but in this cavalry exhaustion optional rules, it does not. It'll eventually become spent. So these guys can opt to overrun, or they can stay there, or they can retreat back to where they came from, one adjacent area. But I think that was so amazing. We're going to continue our assault, our charge. We're going to wheel to the left over to here. We're just moving right in there. I'm not even going to move the units. Let's see what the French have here. And I have to maintain the same point unit. Not that it matters. And when I overrun, I must overrun into clear, which I did. So yeah, let's figure this out. I think, yeah, we're still, we're not 20 anymore because Uxbridge is spent, so we can't use the +4. So we're at 16 for the British. For the French, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for the terrain. So 16 to 8. Is this the time for Rhea to intervene and bring it up to 16 to 11? Or maybe force a reroll? I'm sure there's a mathematical way to decide what's best. I'm going to wing it and say the reroll will be better than the +3. So 16 to 8. Yeah, I guess I should be doing some math. Okay, that doesn't look so hot. I need the French to have much more. Ray is going to force a reroll by flipping. That had basically no effect. 26 to, what did we decide? 8? 26 to 17. That is 9 casualty points. Oh my gosh. By the way, you might be wondering why the skirmishers aren't doing defensive fire. That's only against assaulting infantry. Assaulting cavalry, or cavalry charge, they can't defend against. So, casualty points. If I eliminate the 3 big units, the only unit left is the skirmishers, but I would have absorbed them. I'm trying to see if there's a way to salvage 1 unit that's not a skirmisher. Yeah, I don't think so. So the French lost 3 units here, and the skirmishers stay. And all this cavalry here comes in. And, well, I better double check the cavalry exhaustion rules. Yeah, I believe my reading of the rules is right after this charge, they are all spent. The British currently have 7 points. This brings it up to 10. Wow. Man, massed cavalry is pretty solid against, small stacks. 10 for sunset die roll. We have a 9. That is not less than 4. Okay, I believe we're on impulse 5. Last turn I skipped an impulse by accident, so hopefully I haven't done that. But let's come over here to my other bookkeeping. This little mess over here. I found some like dead French off to the side that I forgot to account for. So let's check out how many French we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 dead French, not counting skirmishers. 1 dead British, so 11 minus 1 is 10. So the British should be at 10. And let's flip that over to a British flag, or Allied flag, so 10. So 2 more points, and it's auto victory for the British. So they need to go for the throat, and the French need to get some points back. Okay, I think the best chance for the French to get some points back is to activate Kellermann's 3rd Cavalry Corps. Activates on a 6. They really need this. They got it. They got a 9. Kellermann is ordering this stack of horse or cavalry. They're going to do a cavalry charge against this cavalry. So yeah, let's spread these guys out a bit. It's not going to matter because most of them are zeros on their backside here. Okay, on the attack, we're looking at 4 for the point unit will be this guy, then 2 for each supporting unit. So 2, 4, 6. So it's 10. The lead unit, now the defense values are very low on spent cavalry, so I guess it'll be this guy for 1. And then for every supporting spent unit, it's half a point rounded down. So we're looking at 2, 3, plus the tem of 2, which is 5. So 10 to 5. And you know what? Kellermann is riding his horse in too, so 13 to 5. Let's check out what's going on here. Okay, British did better. I'm seeing if anyone could like flip to re-roll. There's no one set up to do that. Both leaders are spent. So 10, that's 15 to 5 plus 8 is 13. So 15 to 13, so that's only 2 casualty points. Well, the French had much higher hopes. The British simply need to retreat 2 units. The point unit has to retreat. Or, I mean, I could kill it too, but I think it's better to retreat it. And then we'll go ahead and have, some random, oh, you know what? I want these strong guys to retreat with them. So those guys retreat, these guys stay here, and all these guys flip, and the area is currently contested. Okay, British turn. Got some vulnerable cavalry here, some French vulnerable cavalry. Let's activate the Orange Corps if we can. It's going to be a 5, even it says 6, but Wellington's assisting. Rolled a 4. Plus 1's 5, they need a 6. All right. Sunset Devil. Roll a 9. 9 is not greater than, or less than 5. Okay, it's Impulse 6, and I was just rereading the victory rules, specifically the automatic victory rules. And during the end phase, if one side has 10 victory points, they automatically win. The British currently have 10 victory points. The chart goes up to 12, but I guess that's because you can move it up or down. So yeah, the British will win if they can maintain that lead. So the French really need to knock out some British units. Okay, scouring the board for something the French have a good chance of killing. I think this might be it. Try to activate these guys. Cavalry charge against these cannon. See if we can activate them. This is Milhaud, 4th Cav Corps, 7 or higher. Rolled a 10. Okay, so they're going to do a cavalry charge. They can charge through open field. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll do Vial as the point unit. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's an assault with 10. And Milhaud is participating in the assault as well, so it brings up to 12. 12 against the Tem is 1. There's a supporting unit here of 2, plus 1 more for a total of 2, and then the defense of the lead unit of 4. So I think we said 12 to 6. Yeah. French really need this. Oh man. They're just not rolling so hot, but they still have a good advantage. That's 5 casualty points for the British. Yeah, so the lead unit has to flip. It brings it down to 4. Eliminate it 3-2. If this guy retreats 1, there's still 1 left over, so he has to flip to 1 and then retreat. Well, he can't, so destroyed. So the French did get 2 victory points there, so the British victory points are down to 8. And this does allow a cavalry overrun since there was still 1 point remaining of casualty points. However, if we look around, this is not a very good place to overrun, although it is a field. I think that would result in more French casualties. So these guys are just going to opt to retreat back to where they came from. And then they have to flip due to cavalry exhaustion. I'm pretty sure if you're playing with the base rules for cavalry, in other words, not using the cavalry exhaustion rules, only the lead unit would flip, something like that. But yeah, in this case, they all flip. Okay, back over here by Hougoumont, where the British cavalry charged, did an overrun, and then were countercharged by the French cavalry. British see another opportunity to get some casualties against the British. They're going to try to activate Ultraman from Brunswick Corps. It's going to be a 7. I'm going to add 1 for Wellington. We got an 11 with the 1 added. Okay, yeah, and I think they're just going to activate Mons artillery here to bombard this location. So let's spread this out. Well, that may have been a great idea, but you can't bombard into a contested area if your friendly's there unless the artillery is in that contested area. So what do? I rolled for Ultraman, and activated him. So what do we got here for Ultraman? I probably wouldn't have done it, but I'm just going to roll with it. So we can either use this artillery or activate those guys up there. Yeah, I think we'll activate those guys. So what is this? We got a cavalry and 3 infantry. They are moving out to try to help protect the Uxbridge cavalry. So let's see, what can these guys do? Infantry 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're all moving in with this Uxbridge cavalry here. And then their cavalry unit. Is there some other cavalry they can go join? I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? I guess it'll come down and join these guys. Okay, let's roll for sunset. The current impulse is 6, so we need to roll below 6 for it to be sunset. Rolled exactly 6. If it did sunset, I probably would have had Wellington extend the turn because the British have a chance to win. All right, it's impulse 7. Well, I'm contemplated activating the Imperial Guard, but I think I need to get these cavalry out of there. They're just too vulnerable. So hopefully I can activate a spent Kellermann. I need a 7. Got a 9. So we'll activate Kellermann's units in this area. We can even activate the skirmishers too. I think we will. We're going to pull the skirmishers back here. And I guess Kellermann's guys will just come in over here where they have some protection, although they could be bombarded. So maybe they'll come back further. They can go 6, right? So maybe they'll come back further down to here, join with these Imperial Guards. Now for the British, they could try to activate Uxbridge, try to get these guys into a safer position. But I think they see a place that they can get at least one more point. So let's go over here. I want to activate Uxbridge, 7 plus 1 for Wellington. Got an 8 plus 1 is a 9. 9. Yeah, they're going to activate Uxbridge Cavalry here. They're going to launch a cavalry charge across the river into this area, which I thought was a village, but it's really elevated field, so you can't cavalry charge into a village. So they're going to cavalry charge into this French artillery unit and hopefully destroy it and overrun it. Looks like we're going to have a 2, 4, 6, 8 attack against 4, 5, 6 for the Thames, 7 for crossing a river. Ugh. So that's just 8 to 7. That's not so hot, actually. Oh well, let's go for it. Oh man, sorry for the British. Let's see, so French have 15, you'd probably like to see that. British have 13. Okay, so the lead unit must become spent. The artillery is going to be fine. Then they almost retreat to where they came from. So up to here. And yeah, probably want to see that. And then we apply cavalry exhaustion. So this guy is actually eliminated because everyone has to flip and if spent, be destroyed. So they actually gave the French 1 more point. So the British now have 7 points. Let's roll for sunset. Got a 7. The current impulse is 7, so it doesn't sunset yet. Okay, impulse 8. The French are trying to claw back some points. They're going to activate Kellerman. Needs a 7. That one die didn't go in the box. Nope, got a 3. So nope. What are the British going to do here? Think back on this side of the battle. They're going to try to activate Picton's Corps. They need an 8 plus 1 to the die roll. They got a 7, so plus 1 is 8. And this is probably dumb, but they're going to activate Bruchmann for a bombardment of this cavalry here. I figure it's an even chance of doing something. Well, it's a good chance. Like if I get a high roll, I mean, we're going to do something bad. So we're looking at 1 plus the primary target is cavalry. So we add another one. We'll just do this top guy, Dubois. So 2 versus 2 times the Thames. So that's 2 versus 2. Even bombardment. And that is what the French were hoping for. Let's see. I want to see if anyone can do a re-roll around here. When I said the French, oh yeah. So the British did not get what they wanted. So the French are cool. Just seeing if anyone could re-roll here. So yeah, French are good. This guy's spent. No loss to the British though. But I think they had to do it. If the die roll was reversed, it'd be good. Sunset check. Current impulse is 8. British rolled a 5. So, only Wellington can affect this. Does he want to extend the turn? The British have 7 points. Can they get 3 points? I'm going to have to scan the map and see, is there a possibility of getting 3 points? Yeah, I don't see it, so the British are going to let the turn end. So we process the end phase. No one has an automatic victory. The impulse is reset to 0. The turn markers moved to 1500 hours. That would be turn 5. And yeah, that's the end of the turn. Okay, so even though we advanced to turn 5, unfortunately I have to call the game now. I actually want to finish it, but I can't. I have a small house and the family needs this table. I was told I need the table cleared by tonight. And I'm also going on travel for several weeks. It's not going to happen. So the table's been occupied for several weeks as it is. So I apologize for that, and I know that's probably annoying. Quick thoughts on the game though. This turn is the first turn I feel like I sort of got it, and I had like a good flow of back and forth. I finally got a feel for like what volley fire, like what like your likelihood in volley fire is to get some damage on someone, how cavalry works. I've done quite a few assaults. Definitely seems like you want to mass forces, and I didn't do that very well. But I think it's a fun game. It's not the kind of game I would normally buy. I like games that are like modern, maybe like in general World War II and newer, or like Roman Empire and earlier, like the whole area in between. It's not my thing, but I like it. I like it. So yeah, it should be published now. By the way, this is early December 2019. It should be published anytime. So go check out the website of the developer or the designer. And hope you enjoyed this playthrough.